Welcome, students and everyone, to the Human Wellness and Performance course. My name is Ms. Ture, and I'm so excited to guide you through this class. In this course, we'll dive into how the human body works, how to build healthy habits, how to improve your both your wellness and performance. We'll start the semester using chapter 1 from your textbook, which focuses on physical activity and also your personal fitness. So I also just wanted to go over classroom rules and expectations. As you all know that we're high school students, and we're also in what we like to call a professional school setting. And so basically, we want to treat everyone with respect, including myself, with professionalism, and these are key essential rules here. And that means listening while others speak, avoiding side conversations, treating everyone in the room with kindness. Participation is also very, very big in this course as well. It's also included in the syllabus, and it's also part of your rubric. You get participation points as well. So it's very, very an interactive course. And participation is honestly a big part of your success. So make sure you come to each class prepared, complete your readings each week, engage in discussions that we have in the class, and always ask questions whenever something is unclear to you. And also, punctuality does matter within this course as well. Just make sure you arrive to each class on time. Stay until class ends. If you ever have to miss a day, it's also your responsibility for checking in for any missed or late work or any assignments. All assignments must be turned in on time, and always academic honesty is a non-negotiable part of this class. So be sure your work is on your own. If you ever have to take something from an outside source, please remember you have to always cite that source, cite information that you got it from. Because in other words, it will be plagiarism, and you really don't want that there. That is a really, really big no-no, and especially if you go into future careers and decide to go into college and everything like that. Plagiarism is very big there, and also in school settings as well. So please just remember to always cite your work. If you ever have to, for example, ever have to use outside sources. And also, so for classroom rooms, also, we're going to be doing maybe a little bit of movement and fitness activities. So safety is also really important. Beware of your surroundings. If you're moving a lot, you don't want to really be close to others. Just kind of keeping distance so that we don't just hit someone, or injure someone or yourself. Please always wear appropriate clothing and shoes. Whether we're doing a classroom movement activity or just coming to class in general, please just always dress in the appropriate clothing. And let me know if you ever feel unsafe or something's bothering you. If you're injured or something like that, always remember to report that. And just also remember, a growth mindset is key. You don't always have to be perfect. You just need to be willing to try and learn and improve. And also that I'm here. This is my job to support you and support the students, and we all support each other. And also for technology use as well. So technology use should help your learning, but do not let it distract you. We don't want to use technology as a distraction. So if you're told to do so, or you're allowed, I give you permission to use technology, then you're more than welcome to use it. Other than that, I would like to see phones put away. Keep phones silent. If they're a part of an activity, then yes, you're welcome to pull it out. Any other times, I would like to see phones put away. And also stay away from social media or unrelated websites or things like that of that nature. And also always keep a communication with me is very, very important. whether it's giving respectful feedback, is to your classmates, or emailing me professionally with questions. Okay. Alrighty. So next slide is we're going to move into the agenda for today. So today we'll be covering the course orientation, a deeper look at what wellness actually means, a short mini quiz, the components of physical fitness, training principles, wellness, self-reflection activity, and finally at the end, we will most likely always end with a kind of like a recap of what we did today and a Q&A session. So this always helps us understand what to expect throughout the semester, and also always help before class ends to clear up any missing or closing or any penny questions, or to kind of close the loop on that lecture for today. Okay, or that day, I should say. So to introduce myself, so my name is Jasmine Toure. I'm very passionate about health and movement and helping students reach their potential. I earned my Bachelor's of Science in Health with a concentration in public health from the University of North Florida in Jacksonville, Florida. I graduated in magna cum laude. I am currently pursuing my Master's of Science in Applied Exercise Science at the Concordia University of Chicago. So this is basically focused on human movement science. And throughout the program, or during the program, I was able to get certification in correct exercise specialized as an exercise specialist through the National Academy of Sports Medicine. I've worked in clinical research, and I currently work in clinical research as well. I worked in rehabilitation settings before, a little bit in community health, and my goal is to inspire high school students about their health, community health, and overall wellness and in general. And then just developing lifelong wellness skills. And I believe in learning about health and movement, and how, and basically taking charge of your body, your mind, your future. Wellness is not just about your body, but it's just about, it could be anything, physical, mental, emotional. We actually going to dive deeper into that later on in the PowerPoint. But next slide, I would like for each student to introduce themselves. So on the next slide, we're going to transition over, and then I'll kind of explain from there. So this slide is a little bit about just a little icebreaker, student introductions. So I introduced myself as your teacher, and now I'd like for each of you to introduce yourselves, get to know each other. So basically, each student, when it's your turn, please share your name, a physical activity that you enjoy or want to try, one wellness habit you practice or want to build on, or one fun fact about yourself as well. And then after each introduction, we'll give a thumbs up if we share the same activity or habit. So this helps us kind of start building a positive classroom community. And then, we can always collaborate with each other and just have discussions about topics. And so this kind of provides a way to kind of break the ice a little bit, hence icebreaker. So yes, each student, please introduce yourself. So this course focuses on human performance and fitness and wellness. And we'll learn the science behind movement, how to improve your health, how to make informed decisions about your lifestyle. Some key topics we'll cover includes fitness components, nutrition, mental wellness, SMART goals, exercise safety, and habit formation. So by the end of this course, you'll be able to assess your own fitness, set personal goals for yourself, create wellness plans, apply the principles of proper exercise and recovery. We'll learn through discussion, hands-on assessments, group work, projects, quizzes, activities, to really help students understand and help you all understand what I'm trying to teach to you, and the topics themselves. So that's why I always say that questions are always, always, always welcome. Even if you think that it may be not a question that you should already know, but still ask the question anyway, because that same another student can have the same question that you're wanting, the same question that you have or you're wanting answers to. So please always ask questions. Okay, so before we kind of talk about the slide that I'm presenting right here, what is wellness, I do want to kind of touch base on why this course matters. So this course is important because wellness impacts every part, every aspect of your life, whether it's your energy, your mood, your academic performance, your long-term health. And learning these skills now helps you build healthy habits that support you well beyond just high school. So you take these foundations and tools that you're giving this course and this information that you're learning to kind of apply it into like your to long-term goals or your future goals or something as well. So basically, let's kind of go into what is wellness. So wellness is more than just not being sick. Okay, it's a cautious, ongoing process of becoming your best self in multiple areas of your life. So wellness is a multi-dimensional. It includes your physical, emotional, social, intellectual, spiritual, financial, vocational, environmental well-being. So each dimension works together to support your overall health. So these are the 8 dimensions of wellness that I kind of mentioned on the previous slide here. So basically, we're going to go through each of these dimensions of wellness briefly. Okay, so for the first one, physical. So when we're talking about your physical wellness and everything, well-being, that's exercise, that's nutrition, that's sleep, that's avoiding harmful habits, as we have on the slide here. And then we kind of go into intellectual. So intellectual is like basically your long-term learning, your critical thinking, how you're thinking, your problem solving, and the way you learn. Those all go into intellectual. Those are the components, the meaning of intellectual. And then for emotional, of course, we all are human too. We have emotions. With emotions, there comes stress. So managing your stress, expressing feelings, your resilience, all kind of ties into your emotional well-being, because we also do want to keep the your emotional well-being healthy too as well, because sometimes when you're trying to manage your stress or managing your stress, or you become stressed out, it kind of leads into unhealthy habits as well. So that's how that's kind of tied in together. And then of course with social, okay, we all have friends, we have friendships, we have we communicate with others, we have the community as well, like community involvement. I just say, like, for example, if you like to hang out with friends, or go to a movie, see a movie or something like that. Those are kind of like your social wellness, and then sometimes it kind of falls into like building basically like healthy relationships with others, and how to maintain those healthy relationships, and then it's all about communication properly too as well. So that all kind of ties into well-being. And then we kind of go into spiritual. So these talks about a little bit in this section, talks about like values, your purpose, your beliefs, your mindfulness, what do you value, what's purposeful to you, and what do you believe, like your belief systems. And for this, mostly everyone is different. Of course, some people are going to have different values, different beliefs, different purposes. So as well, so it's always like important that we kind of all just, respect each other, and that all kind of ties into the spiritual wellness as well. And then you have, your vocational. which talks about the finding and meaning in work or activities. Basically, like so anything that kind of aligns with like your interests and like your values, and then just like finding the meaning and purpose in what you do in your work or activities as well. So the all these 8 dimensions, it goes into wellness, and they all have meaning here. Each of these are very, very important, and it contributes, to your life, and also contributes to something long term. So it's always important that we always practice, healthy habits as well. And of course, there's always the financial wellness too, as well, and environmental. Financial wellness is basically the ability to manage financial resources. So responsibility to live within your means, preparing for your future needs, reducing the financial stress, managing money responsibility. So that's what it means by financial wellness there. And of course, like being in high school, being in high school, sometimes, like, for example, just some of you may like find that that you, for example, you get like a high school job or something like that, and then you start learning about money, when you get paid for doing work or something like that, or when you get like, maybe for example, if your parents give you allowance and they're trying to teach you about financial wellness and how to manage your money. So all that ties in together to basically to kind of like make sure that you're kind of managing your financial resources. That kind of ties into wellness as well. So not just being sick, but there's also the 8 dimensions that kind of ties into the wellness, and then also the meaning of long-term wellness as well. And so for environmental, that's living in a safe and healthy setting. So of course, like environments, sometimes we always want to make sure that like our surroundings we're living in, healthy and safe environment, to where we don't kind of put um, ourselves in harm's way. So that also all ties in together your will about for well-being and wellness as well. Righty, so we're on to the next slide, and we're going to talk about the components of physical fitness. These are the components of physical fitness. So we have cardiorespiratory endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, and flexibility. Okay. Basically, for cardiorespiratory and endurance is your body's ability to deliver oxygen during a long duration of activity. So activities like running or swimming and cycling build this. So the stronger endurance, meaning healthier heart and healthier lungs. It improves the heart and lung efficiency, overall stamina. So when you're exercising and everything like that, your body moves as kind of like a circulatory system to where it can supply oxygen properly throughout the body. And then for muscular strength, so this is the max amount of force a muscle or a muscle group can produce in a single effort. Examples is like when you do like weightlifting. If you lift weights, so you go to the gym and then you pick up a dumbbell or something like that, then that's muscular strength. That's like, okay, or push-ups. It's just kind of like the same thing. So the amount of force that you put on a muscle or muscle group that can produce in a single effort. So this matters because it increases power, bone health, and injury prevention as well. So it kind of makes you a little bit stronger to be able to withstand strenuous activities, and kind of push yourself through activities with force and power, if you will. And then muscular endurance is the ability of a muscle to perform repeated contractions over time without getting tired, which is fatigue. So this is examples of this would be kind of like planks or sit-ups or just like rowing. And then this matters because it enhances like your posture, the stability, and overall physical performance as well. And then, of course, endurance also supports better posture, as stated here, and everyday movement as well. And then for flexibility, the ability of joints to move through full range of motion. So basically, examples of this would be like stretching and yoga are great ways to improve it. So good flexibility reduces the risk of injury and helps you move more efficiently as well. So you're not really your muscles and things are not really stiff. You can move like through a full range of motion, which does help you move more efficiently throughout like an activity or exercise. So body composition refers to the ratio of fat mass and lean mass. You can assess this by using through BMI, which is a body mass index, skin fold test, or a body fat analysis. Usually to the right, picture to the right, you can see that through the skin fold test is usually measured by this device they call the calipers. And then these components are basically important because a healthy composition does support energy, mobility, and overall wellness. So now we're kind of getting to introduction to SMART goals. SMART goals are, and it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? These objectives that help you stay focused and motivated and accountable when you're trying to write out or come up with your exercise goals or long-term goals. Throughout this course, you'll learn how to create smart wellness goals that keep you motivated and accountable. And then for moving on into the assignment, so you have a lab activity. So this is where we will begin talking about our self-assessment activity. So first you'll complete a wellness questionnaire. Then if equipment is available, you'll record your baseline fitness metrics like push-ups, sit-ups, and a simple step test. And then finally, you'll draft like 2 to 3 SMART goals based on what you discover about your wellness and fitness levels. Also make sure there's a worksheet that goes along with this. So it's titled the week 1 lab activity and assignment. So that will be the form that you record everything on. And then you will also have a reflection journal prompt here. And so this says, please, I have a note here, so please see the wellness assessment and SMART activities goal activity for the templates. And so you're just going to answer those questions there. It's going to be mention which dimension of wellness do you feel strongest in, which could use improvement, why, what's one personal goal you would like to achieve this semester. And then also make sure you pay attention to your homework and reading. So reading is chapter 1, Foundations of Personal Fitness. And then complete the reflection journal entry on wellness self-assessment, and then draft your 2 to 3 SMART goals as mentioned. And then for the key takeaways, so we always want to remember that wellness is multidimensional. It's balancing all aspects of your life. It's critical for human performance. Fitness, physical fitness is only one part of wellness. So mental, emotional, and social health are equally important as well. And then setting small goals are very, very important. It gives a foundation for progress throughout the semester. So once you set a smart goal, you're able to track that progress along the way to see if you improved or if there's areas for improvement there. And then also, so here it's kind of similar, like I have the references here as well. But if any of your students, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me and let me know. I'm always available in class too. Say, for example, if you read the chapter, you have questions about it, please save or write down your questions and then bring it to the next class with you so we can discuss. Thank you so much.